Hello my dear gardeners, look at this. This is so exciting. Literally, this is a breakthrough. You know how ideas can be the breakthroughs? So my breakthrough working with cement is these little piping bags, the cake decoration equipment with literally endless types of designs, and I'm using it for cement, and I'm making all these wonderful pots now. So forget about the pots which I was making before that without no decorations whatsoever. Now, oh my, the possibilities literally are endless. So let me show you my latest developments here. If you're willing to work with quick set cement, you can also work with usual cement. You can make your pots at home and there's no need to buy anything super expensive and very pretty. You can make something like this or any variants of whatever you make, you know, starting from Peter Rabbit to exquisite Baroque designs around the surface of the pot, thanks to all these little molds. And for me, everything began with the idea that I wanted to make a corner in my garden dedicated to herbs for next year. All this is happening for next year. Investment in 2026. So I want to combine not only ornamental plants in my garden, but introduce more and more herbs and vegetables. So the most what we use every year, every season, I always send my kids out. Can you get parsley, dill, basil, chives, and thyme? So I want next year on my porch where everything is visible, it's nice and elevated, I want to have 4 pots with thyme, chives, basil and parsley. Major 4 plants, 4 herbs we are using in our kitchen. And some of them will be elevated with some, I assume, some sort of a standing high. And usually those pots, they have a tendency to fall. We have raccoons in the garden, and on a regular basis they get curious about pots and they push them and they fall off. Just today I found one pot fell off our patio here. So these guys, the raccoons will not be able to break, will not be able to toss around because this is cement. Heavy. You do need your muscles here. And what I did, I said, okay, on every pot I'm going to put little letters, little words, chives, parsley, and I started looking on Amazon for cake decoration molds. These are the molds. The first 2 I purchased. I kind of suspect that they will be first of many, and I will give you the link under the video which ones I have. I went for this type of alphabet letters. They're not these cutesy kids cake letters. They are more of there is restraint in its design. I like it. So it just happened to be that there are numbers and letters. I really don't need numbers. Maybe later I would. Ooh, the wind, it's a little bit chilly today. And I went with these molds, and they are the molds for beautiful peony flower. And then there is the rose. I don't really like the rose. It was wet at night, so all my molds are already wet, but they are hardened, so wetness doesn't bother cement. So roses are not as interesting as peonies. And here we have also nice rose hips, which I like. Also, this mold comes with nice rose leaves, also very valuable addition to my work here with cement. And you can see here I used these leaves and I used hips to add to all this design of this pot. So molds, whatever you want, and there are thousands, literally thousands of choices on Amazon you can buy. I went for these letters and this flower mold. Then you would need cement. Cement is, I went with quickcrete cement which sets in within 30 minutes. And here you do have to be very quick, because for all this piping, and I will be doing piping with you today, you're using these cheap cake piping bags, and they are so inexpensive. They're disposable, so Well, great, because cement hardens quickly, so you can't reuse them. And you can pipe interesting designs freehand, but you have to be very fast with these piping bags. Then what I use, because cement is of such a white color in the garden, I don't like it. I'm using stains after cement hardened and dried. I'm using these stains to darken cement. And look here, I had 2 major hiccups with making this pot. Look at the inside. Even with plastic cover for the interior mold, I was using this little bucket here. But because bucket probably has this uneven bottom, it got so stuck inside my mold that I was not able to release it. And for the exterior mold, I was also using, you see this? I was also using plastic bag. It got all mixed with cement here. And added to the beautiful one-of-a-kind design of my pot, right? Look at all this. This is because the bag was there, the plastic garbage bag. Okay, I thought this is going to be a ruined pot, and then the idea occurred to me, how about using cement as cake decoration piping? And I did. So let's do it again with you, but on this little container, which I made already. So I mixed my concrete very well with water, and oh boy, it's a messy business. You cannot do it somewhere where you have to keep everything nice and neat. So definitely outside, definitely with a mask, glasses, because concrete, before you start mixing it, there's a lot of dust in the air and you don't want to damage your eyes or your hands. So mix it well. Then I coated the surfaces which will go in contact with cement. I coated with oil, cooking oil, with the hope that my foam will release easily. Well, it didn't, so probably this releasing of cement from the forms would be the most difficult part of the project, the most challenging. And I know they sell this special spray, cement releasing spray on Amazon. I didn't test it yet, but I will give you the link underneath just in case you want to try it, and let us all know. Maybe in the future I will buy it too. So I went with cheap containers, these plastic ones from my plants, which I bought from the nursery into the garden, and I could not release them. So I had to break them, which is fine because these are cheap forms. So keep that in mind. This would be the most challenging thing to do, and you cannot wait too long to release your pot out of those containers. Why? Because you have to make the drainage holes, and if your cement is too soft, you will collapse the bottom, as I did. Look at this. My bottom, I had to reinstall the extra bottom and then drill my holes. And then if you want to do all sorts of decorative damage to the surface of cement, as I did here, right? It would be too late if cement sits for 2-3 more minutes longer and becomes too hard. I'm telling you, the hardening is happening super fast. And if you're really uncomfortable about it, you can go with usual slow set cement, let it sit overnight, and the next day you have the whole day. You can work on that cement, make nice little dents in the surface, really work on it. Here I didn't really have a lot of time to make this surface as great as, for example, this water fountain here. I think this water fountain has a better surface than this one. Well, that's minuses of using quick set cement. You don't have a lot of time, but you have a product almost right away next day. This is already cement, already treated with concrete stain, and you let your stain sit on the cement as long as you want, because the longer the stain sits, the darker the cement will be, and you can see that the surface, smooth surface, doesn't get as dark as the porous surface, because porous surface holds on to more of the stain, and as a result there is more of a reaction between cement and stain, and this is permanent. This is a reaction, chemical reaction, so you cannot wash it out. After you achieve you see what the difference between color is? So I washed it probably after 2 hours because I didn't want it to be too dark. And look at this difference. So the trick is, because my container was treated with the stain first. So everything what I put extra, because this was extra I treated with the stain again, everything. But because there is extra layer here, this is darker. And this stands out, which I like. So that's a nice little trick here. Since jade tree is going to be growing here, I want to make a tree of life here. And hopefully the leaves will overlap and will go maybe make a nice little ornament here. But we will see. I'm going to make very small opening here and hopefully smaller decorations than on this original pot would be possible here. So basically what I'm doing right now, I'm waiting for my cement to start to harden. And it's probably maybe another 5 minutes. It will start to harden up and just ready for piping. Not hard yet. 5 more minutes to wait. And if you have extra cement mix, don't be shy to use it on other projects. For example, here I had extra and I used it for the legs for my thyme pot. I didn't want my cement sitting on the wet soil or wet surface, especially through the winter. And surprisingly, they were very easy to make out of simple paper molds. Paper, when it gets wet, it separates itself very easily from cement, especially when cement didn't harden yet. So this is what I did with all my extra cement. I installed little cute legs. Next day. Well, I'm not 100% happy with this Tree of Life because it doesn't look like Tree of Life, but let's respect my second try, and hopefully my next projects, my future projects will have much of the improvement, let's put it this way. So this one, since I'm going to put jade tree into it, I'm going to stabilize the pH with the help of white vinegar. It's more windy today than yesterday. Woohoo! Because cement is highly alkaline, around 13, from 11 to 13. And jade tree, I'm not sure what jade tree likes. I know that thyme will go here, and thyme really is okay with alkaline or slightly acidic soil. Plus this project is much older. This is fresh. So, and I already acidified it. It sat in the water for several days. Look at this. I just broke this little leaf. Can you believe it? I have to glue it back with cement right here. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 50-50 of vinegar and water. Let it sit for several hours, then I will wash it in this basin. Let it dry, and then we'll treat it with acids. And for this wonderful thing, it is fully cured. I'm going to plant it, and originally I wanted to introduce some colors here. I'm going to leave it as is, just to put the Waterguard here, and it's going to be a spray because I have so many interesting details here. I don't want I wouldn't be able to coat it with a brush, so I'm spraying it. And the place for my temporary place for my thyme pot would be somewhere here for now, among all other herbs here. And this is lemon thyme. Wonderful spice, I love it. And now it's not the time to trim it because it's close to winter. In spring I will make a nice trim, and this time will be hopefully happy here. I like it. It's a cozy feel here with all the flowers. And now my fancy pot came in. This pot is done. I'm going to put it on the sun because it didn't dry yet, and wait for several days and then repot my jade tree. So I did. One pot is ready, thyme is ready, and then we have to have chives, parsley and basil, all ready for 2026. Exciting. And now when I figure out how to play with cement, each project is going to be different. Very interesting. I like this garden adventure. All right, be well, my gardeners. See you in our next video.